Hold up! Let me ask you something real quick. When you hear Chicago, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Deep dish pizza? The Windy City? Al Capone? Well, in the next 10 minutes, everything you think you know about Chicago is about to get completely flipped upside down. I'm going to show you the real Chicago that no travel guidebook will ever tell you about. Welcome to Chicago, everyone. This isn't just America's third largest city. This is the ultimate transformation story, from a city drowning in crime and corruption to becoming the symbol of innovation and rebirth. See this gorgeous skyline behind me? Did you know that beneath these beautiful towers lie blood-soaked secrets from the Prohibition era? And do you have any idea how this city rose from literal ashes to become one of the world's most innovative cities? Today, we're taking a journey through Chicago's most dramatic transformation from its darkest criminal past to its brightest future. We'll walk in the footsteps of Al Capone and his gangsters, diving into their secret world. We'll uncover the hidden stories behind these cloud-piercing skyscrapers. And finally, we'll witness how this city completely reinvented itself into something extraordinary. 55 million people visit Chicago every year, but most leave without ever seeing the real Chicago. I'm about to change that for you. Ready to discover the Chicago they don't want you to see? Let's dive in. You're walking through downtown Chicago right now, looking at these bustling streets, right? But most tourists just see the surface and move on. They have no clue about the incredible secrets hidden behind these seemingly ordinary buildings. During Prohibition in the 1920s, Chicago was the most dangerous and thrilling city in America. Every night, gunshots echoed through the streets, while millions of dollars changed hands illegally. But what if I told you that all those stories are still alive right beneath our feet, inside the buildings we're walking past? All right, this is where the real adventure begins. First stop is Holy Name Cathedral on the north side of the Chicago River. September 11th, 1926, right in front of this cathedral, a gangster named Dean O'Banion was murdered by Al Capone's men who approached him pretending to deliver flowers. Flowers are beautiful, but sometimes they become messengers of death. That was the brutal reality of Chicago gangsters back then. Can you believe something that violent happened right in front of this peaceful cathedral? But here's what's even more incredible. You can still see bullet holes from that day embedded in the cathedral walls. Next up is the Green Mill Cocktail Lounge. This jazz club opened in 1907 and was Al Capone's regular hangout. Capone had his own special table here, positioned against the wall, so he couldn't be attacked from behind. Al always sat with his back to the wall. Always checked the exits. Survival came first. That's from a waiter who worked there at the time. Amazingly, this club is still operating today, and you can actually have a drink at the exact same table where Capone used to sit. Go ahead, sit at that table. You'll feel how paranoid you become about footsteps approaching from behind. But the real shocking discoveries are underground. Beneath downtown Chicago, there's a network of secret tunnels built during Prohibition. These tunnels connected illegal speakeasies and served as covert passageways for gangsters. The most famous is the tunnel discovered beneath Moody Church. Found during building renovations in 2007, this tunnel connected to a 1920s illegal brewery. A brewery under a church. Talk about irony. Chicago historian William Haggerty puts it perfectly. Chicago's underground is another city entirely. It's a perfectly preserved secret world from the Prohibition era. The most mind-blowing discovery is right next to Chicago City Hall. In 2019, beneath a LaSalle Street building, they found a perfectly preserved 1920s speakeasy, oak bar, ornate chandeliers, and even a secret entrance behind the wall. Everything was still intact. It was like time had stopped. Glasses were still on tables, cigarette butts still in ashtrays. That's from the person who discovered it. Even more fascinating were the ledgers found there. They showed exactly how much money Al Capone's organization made. In 1927 alone, $60 million. That's about $800 million in today's money. What can we learn from Al Capone and the gangsters? They were criminals, yes, but they were also products of their time. Prohibition, this unrealistic law, created a massive underground economy, and these were the people fighting to survive within it. Interestingly, Al Capone saw himself as a businessman. "I just give people what they want," he said. His organization actually had all the characteristics of a modern corporation: accounting department, marketing strategy, even employee benefits. Today's Chicago is completely different. Streets that once echoed with gunshots are now among the world's safest tourist destinations. Where illegal speakeasies once operated, Michelin-starred restaurants now serve guests. But that history hasn't disappeared. Chicago now uses this dark past as a tourism asset. Gangster tours have become one of Chicago's most popular attractions. Ultimately, Chicago's gangster era taught the city valuable lessons about the importance of law and order, and the need to address social problems at their roots. Today, Chicago is one of America's most diverse and inclusive cities. What was once a symbol of crime and corruption has become a center of innovation and culture. When you walk Chicago's streets, don't just see tourist attractions, feel all these layers of history. Beneath your feet live the traces of one of the most exciting eras in American history. All right, time to leave the dark underworld. Shoot for the sky. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button while we're heading up. You're looking up at these massive buildings right now, and most people just think tall, big, and move on. But did you know that behind each tower lies incredible stories of human ambition, failure, and unstoppable determination? Chicago's skyline isn't just a collection of buildings. This was the stage for the most dramatic innovations in human architectural history, the result of countless people's dreams and passions stacked high into the sky. After the Great Chicago Fire of 1871 destroyed the entire city, how did Chicago rise to become the world's first skyscraper city? First stop is Willis Tower, formerly Sears Tower. When completed in 1973, this was the world's tallest building, 442 meters high, 108 stories of pure ambition. At the time, Sears Roebuck and Company was the world's largest retailer. They didn't just want a tall building. They wanted a structure that symbolized American economic power. We wanted to touch the sky. We thought that was the symbol of the American dream. That's from Gordon Metcalf, Sears chairman at the time. But construction wasn't smooth sailing. Chicago's strong winds caused the building to sway, so they had to develop the innovative bundled tube structure. This technology, 9 square tubes bundled together to distribute wind resistance, is still used in skyscraper construction today. The most fascinating feature is the sky deck on the 103rd floor. Installed in 2009, these glass balconies extend 1.3 meters from the building, making you feel like you're floating in midair. When we first designed it, people said we were crazy, but we wanted to give people a truly special experience. That's from Skydeck designer John Darby. Each glass balcony uses 3 layers of 1.5-inch thick reinforced glass, and each panel can support the weight of 5 elephants. But what scares people most isn't the glass breaking. It's the vertigo from looking down through transparent floors. Now let's check out the John Hancock Center, now 875 North Michigan Avenue. Completed in 1969, this 344-meter tower is shorter than Willis Tower, but has a much more innovative structure. The most distinctive feature is the massive X-shaped cross-bracing on the building's exterior. These X patterns aren't just decoration. They're crucial structural elements for the building's stability. The John Hancock Center's most amazing feature is that it combines everything in one building: offices, residences, retail, and an observatory. This was unprecedented at the time. Even more interesting are the building's residents. Floors 40 through 92 are condominiums, and the people living there literally live above the clouds every day. Since Chicago's average cloud height is about 200 meters, they're genuinely living in the clouds. When I wake up in the morning, clouds are below my window. It's like living in heaven. That's from Maria Gonzalez, who lives on the 85th floor. But high-rise living comes with unexpected challenges. Strong winds make the building sway, causing water and glasses to ripple and sometimes stopping elevators. During lightning storms, the building gets struck directly, so residents have to turn off all electronics and wait it out. The biggest lesson from Chicago's skyline is human will turning the impossible into possible. It wasn't coincidence that the world's first skyscrapers rose from a city completely destroyed by fire in 1871. Chicago could experiment with entirely new architectural techniques during post-fire reconstruction. Steel frame construction, elevator systems, central heating and cooling. All the basic elements of modern buildings were first tried in Chicago. Chicago was architecture's laboratory. While other cities cautiously followed, Chicago boldly challenged. That's from architectural historian Carl Condit. Today, Chicago's skyline isn't just urban scenery. It's become a symbol of human civilization. Architects from around the world come to Chicago for inspiration, and technologies developed here are applied in cities worldwide. Particularly in sustainable architecture, Chicago is once again leading the way. Willis Tower is currently undergoing massive green renovation, and John Hancock Center is experimenting with integrating wind power into the building. What do you feel when you look up at these massive towers? You'll probably gain a new perspective on human potential. Chicago's skyline tells us, impossible just means you haven't tried yet. You probably have dreams in your life that seem impossible too. But like Chicago's architects, sometimes bold challenges open up new possibilities. Next time you see a tall building, remember that it's not just a structure. It's someone's dream stacked high into the sky. Now let's come down from the sky and witness Chicago's most beautiful transformation. Don't forget those likes and subscribes while we're walking. Look at this beautiful Millennium Park and Riverwalk you're walking through right now. Most tourists take selfies in front of Cloud Gate the Bean, chill on the grass for a bit, and leave. But hardly anyone knows how these parks came to be, or what they mean to Chicago as a city. By the late 20th century, Chicago was in serious crisis. Economic decline from manufacturing collapse, population loss, and urban decay. This city that was once America's pride was slowly withering away. So how did it transform into one of the world's most livable cities in the 21st century? Let's start with Millennium Park's history. Where you're standing right now looked completely different just 25 years ago. It was filled with railroad yards, parking lots, and abandoned lots. In 1997, Chicago made a bold decision: transform these 24.5 acres in the heart of the city into a world-class park. The estimated cost was $150 million, but it ultimately cost $475 million. Many people said we were crazy. They asked why we'd spend that money on a park when we could do more important things. That's from then Mayor Richard M. Daley. But Mayor Daley's vision wasn't just a simple park. He wanted to create the city's living room, a special space where Chicago citizens could feel pride and people from around the world would want to visit. Let's examine Cloud Gate, aka the Bean, closely. This 168-ton massive sculpture was designed by British artist Anish Kapoor, and its creation involved enormous technical challenges. The biggest problem was how to make this enormous sculpture seamlessly smooth. They had to connect 168 stainless steel plates without any visible seams. We had to develop new welding techniques. Each plate had to fit perfectly. Then the surface had to be polished mirror smooth. That's from Peter Moore, president of MTH Industries, which handled the fabrication. This process took 2 years, and even after completion, it requires special cleaning 3 times a week. But the result was incredible. Cloud Gate became Chicago's new symbol, attracting 12 million visitors annually. But Millennium Park's real magic isn't just in Cloud Gate. Look at the Pritzker Pavilion. This music venue designed by Frank Gehry can accommodate 4,000 people and has world-class acoustics. The most amazing thing is that all performances here are free. From the Chicago Symphony Orchestra to jazz, rock, and world music, anyone can enjoy diverse performances for free. We believe culture is not a privilege for the few, but a right for all citizens. That's from Mark Kelly, Chicago's Cultural Affairs Commissioner. But Millennium Park's real innovation is hidden underground. Beneath the entire park are massive underground parking and cultural facilities, allowing the surface to be completely dedicated to green space. This was revolutionary at the time. Pay special attention to the Lurie Garden. It looks like a simple garden, but this space recreates Chicago's ecological history. It recreates the prairie plants that grew naturally in this area before Chicago became a city. We wanted to remember Chicago's original form. We wanted to show how beautiful the nature was here before it was covered with concrete and glass. That's from garden designer Piet Oudolf. An even more amazing discovery is the BP Bridge. This 925-foot pedestrian bridge designed by Frank Gehry isn't just a bridge. Its serpentine design lets you appreciate different angles of Chicago's skyline as you walk. The bridge's most unique feature is its grade. It's designed with gentle slopes for wheelchair accessibility, making the bridge itself a work of art. The policy's effect was remarkable. After Millennium Park opened in 2004, downtown Chicago real estate prices increased by an average of 30%, and new restaurants and hotels moved in en masse. Now let's look at Riverwalk along the Chicago River. The transformation here is even more dramatic. Until the 1990s, the Chicago River was surrounded by industrial areas, making it inaccessible to citizens. But the Chicago Riverwalk project that began in 2001 changed everything. They completely redesigned 1.25 miles of riverfront. The most impressive aspect is the Riverwalk's multi-level structure. The upper level has walkways and bike paths. The middle level has cafes and restaurants. And the lower level provides direct contact with the river. The most important aspect of Chicago's urban renewal was its citizen-centered approach. The goal wasn't just creating beautiful spaces, but spaces that could bring real change to citizens' daily lives. Look at Crown Fountain in Millennium Park. This isn't just decoration. In summer, it becomes a splash pad for kids, and in winter, it becomes an ice rink. The fountain's LED screens display Chicago citizens' faces in rotation. We wanted citizens to be owners of the park, not just spectators. That's from Edward Upton, who oversaw Millennium Park's design. Today, Millennium Park and Riverwalk generate $2.7 billion in direct economic impact annually for Chicago. But more importantly, they've improved citizens' quality of life. According to Chicago citizen satisfaction surveys, citizens' pride in their city increased 65% after these parks were created. Downtown residential population increased 30%, with significant job creation effects. Particularly noteworthy is how these parks maximized Chicago's seasonal appeal. Summer brings outdoor concerts and festivals, while winter features skating rinks and Christmas markets. I met 70-year-old Chicago native Dorothy Wilson at Riverwalk, and her story was touching. When I was young, this river was dirty and smelly. Nobody wanted to go near it. Now it's become the most beautiful place where I walk every day. This is the true meaning of urban renewal. Not just changing appearances, but creating new daily experiences and memories for citizens. Chicago's urban renewal projects have become models for cities worldwide. Seoul's Cheonggyecheon restoration, New York's High Line Park, London's Thames renovation. Many projects reference Chicago's experience. The most important lesson is the importance of citizen participation. All of Chicago's urban renewal projects actively incorporated citizen input from the planning stage, resulting in spaces that truly reflected what citizens wanted. Today, we witness Chicago's incredible transformation together. From Al Capone and the gangster's dark past, to the ambitious skyscrapers piercing the sky, to the beautiful urban renewal rising from ashes. The true meaning of travel isn't just visiting famous tourist spots, it's understanding the stories embedded in those places. Hearing Chicago's urban renewal story reminds me of another American city undergoing incredible transformation, Detroit. Once called Motor City and the heart of America's auto industry, this city faced serious crisis as industry declined. But right now in Detroit, an even more dramatic urban renewal miracle than Chicago's is happening. Abandoned factories are transforming into innovative startup hubs. Ruined buildings are being reborn as modern residential spaces. And new culture and art are blooming on empty streets. From Henry Ford's legacy to today's tech startups, how is Detroit creating a completely new identity, moving from despair to hope, from decline to renewal? Is Detroit on your travel bucket list? Or are you curious about this city's transformation? Are you curious about abandoned factory rebirth stories? Or are you more interested in the emerging arts and culture districts? Let me know in the comments. And I'll solve your curiosity in the next video. Your curiosity becomes our next journey. In the next video, we're revealing Phoenix, Detroit, all the secrets and renewal stories of the Motor City that rose from ruins. Don't forget to like this video if it changed how you see Chicago, subscribe for more hidden city stories, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our Detroit deep dive. See you in the next adventure.
The scent of rain, the laughter's call, when every moment felt so tall. Rusty bikes and broken swings, chasing clouds with paper wings, skinned up knees but hearts intact. The world was wide, no looking back. Oh, beautiful old days, where did you hide? In the corner of my heart, you still reside. Time may run, but it can't erase the echoes of those beautiful old days. The sky turned pink at every dusk. Dreams were big and trust was trust. Secrets shared beneath the moon. The nights whispered, it all comes soon.